Sorry, I have to wait for the stream to stop before I start rambling on for 1 hour straight. Yeah, yeah. Be patient. Be a little bit patient. Okay. The stream's gonna be beginning anytime soon. It's gonna hit me right at there, wherever it is. I hope updating OBS has not accidentally completely messed up my streaming platform. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't. But I hope it's not. Okay, I think it's on. So, hi everybody, what is up? So we're talking about applied ethics today. I hope you guys are prepared. I hope you guys are excited for that. Yeah, that's very good. There's legit nothing else I could start the stream better with. Yes, there wasn't. So I was taking a break for I think how many days? 1 day. That wasn't that long at all. And then I'll tell the details about all that in the future. But all I'm saying is that yeah, it's nice to be back. I guess it feels good. I know I should be a little bit more enthusiastic right now, but so far I'm still conflicted. I am still conflicted. I have no idea if it's the right time, but I also do want to I'm talking about applied ethics today. So let me thought, yep, what up, bro? What up? So we're talking about applied ethics today. So instead of me having to teach you guys all these stupid stuff, do you guys want to start me off? You guys want to start things off for me so that I could take 5 minutes of my spare time just thinking about what the heck I'm gonna try to say, so I can fill up 1 hour of entertainment for you guys. You guys want to start with that? Hi, fantastic. How are you? It's so nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, by the way. It's been such a stressful a couple of weeks for me as well, so I just had to take things slower. I'll probably take things slower from here on out as well, but we'll get to that. Not today. No idea who is these guys. No idea who is these guys. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was asking you about applied ethics. Isn't it? But it's kind of self-explanatory, don't you guys think? Applied ethics. It literally applying ethics to certain things. So, for example, philosophy is both theoretical and application wise. There's been a huge emphasis on trying to use ethics and try to figure out philosophers purpose in society and individual wise. So basically, if you can apply ethics towards certain things, that is literally called applied ethics. Now I know that's not a very good explanation, but it's better to just give an example. For example, what it means to do good and what it means to be a righteous person can be theoretical. So it can be possible. You don't really have to use that theory for anything particular. It's just there. It's just theories. But if you apply that theory, you can start saying, how can I become a good person? How can I make the right decisions? For instances, if you want to take it so far, when is it right for someone to go to war? Or when is it right for someone to kill someone else? Or when is it right for someone to I know I say someone a lot, but it can be societal based as well, just an entire country and their entire business wise as well. For example, these days about self-driving cars is applied ethics as well, where you what decisions should the car make in certain situations, where you have to sacrifice one person over another. It's kind of like that. It's just very simply just when ethics just get out of their textbooks and start going into where you have to actually start thinking about what to do in certain situations. That's basically it. And today, the reason I want to talk about this situation is because I want to figure out whether or not this is worth anything, whether or not this whole topic is meaningful in any way. Because I want you guys to remember something about philosophy, is that the reason it's hard is because it's just generally there's really no right or wrong answer to it. But some people do suggest that that ethics do have some right answer, and I want to have a discussion about that if possible. If not, then I will just have to ramble along by myself, like I totally always do. I have a huge problem with this. But yeah, just I hope that makes sense. It's useful. That's debatable. Can you tell me why you think so? Can you tell me why you think so? I think there's a huge limit, and there's a lot of limits that goes into like applying ethics to anything. We'll get to some of the examples before, and I want to use an example that I have personally debated for like quite a while now, and this personally is very fascinating and very controversial, and it's kind of fun that it prohibits outrage in society. Oh, that's true. That's true. That is really, really true. There are definitely suggestions to like say that is true because like people want things like we can't exactly just be good in general making right choices. True as well. True as well. This is why ethics is kind of like controversial in any way, because you can't exactly blame anyone for like wanting to make the right choice and then like wanting to lead the right life and also like wanting to make society better than it currently is. All that yada yada, good stuff. But at the end of the day, is there even a point in doing something or learning about something and like becoming professional at something? Because like there's apparently like professional philosophers and professional ethics, which we call ethical experts or moral experts apparently. And these people technically exist. Like there are people like businesses hiring these kind of people right now who are experts in morality and like ethics, who comes up and then like helps businesses and helps like doctors to make these kind of like hard decisions. Now, but do these moral experts actually exist? Sure, we can like put down, give anybody a degree and then like just tell them, oh, you're a moral expert now. You got a PhD. Good. Now you know what you're talking about. The way to say you can't blame someone at some point, and if failures happen. I don't understand what that exactly means, but I'll just let you explain that. It's too vague to say you can't blame. It's not really about blaming. It's just about, you know what? I'll just let you finish about that. I'll just continue on. Yeah, it's just that it's more about, but what does it exactly mean beyond the piece of paper that says that you are a moral expert? What does that exactly mean? Because what qualification? What do you mean? You become better at morality compared to somebody else? What do you mean by you are more ethically wiser? And because like a lot of people in my streams has been telling me, oh, Tendo, you're so wise. I keep telling them no, because like it's, in my opinion, it's not a thing. But we'll get to that soon. But generally, what do you guys mean when you say you are an expert in morality? What do you mean by that? And if it's worth doing, then you must be able to get better at it. But what do you mean that you get better at making the good choices, making the right choices, making all these? Now, there's a argument for this, and most people would say that hold on, opinions at times isn't based on the comparable goods in society. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to get to. Moral experts these days are classified as moral experts because they know more theories and just basically have the time to actually think about all these kind of questions. Sorry, Tando. Why? Don't be. It's just these kind of questions about society, and there's an argument to suggest that not other people, most people in society don't have the time or the luxury or the experience to think about these kind of stuff, which is why moral experts exist to do that job for you. And now that they are doing that job, now you can like get their expertise and then like start making the choices. And that is true, and that you can argue that like philosophers do have the time to like actually think more thoroughly about this and more basically go in more depth, I guess, and then like arguably become more expert. But is that really true? Does that actually help? Does spending more time than somebody else in morality or ethics or experience it actually make you a better at ethics? People might not be immoral and might or not be immoral scumbags. Yeah, but that's the thing I'm gonna ask you guys right now. What does it mean to be ethical? What does it mean to be moral? What does it mean then? Sure, we can say, this before you answer that question, think very carefully. Do you believe when you say somebody is immoral compared to somebody else, are you saying that because they actually are immoral and they are actually less ethical? Or are you saying that because you believe they are less ethical and they are less moral compared to these other individuals or something like that? This is very difficult to like separate, and it's arguably even impossible. Who knows? 100 years ago, it meant different things. Perhaps. You can explain that further. But here's my point. You can't say, because every single time when somebody says this action is immoral and this action is moral in comparison, like burning witches. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah. But like, who are you to say that these actions today are more morally acceptable compared to back then, or some things are not morally acceptable compared to that? Like, for example, even right now, you might have people who actually support witch hunting. Who knows? Sure, you can say, oh, it's wrong, it is awful, it is all this, and then you can give all these reasons for like why you believe it is so. But at the end of the day, no matter how much evidence you give about like why you believe it is, at the end of the day, it's still limited to your own beliefs. You can't. So this is what my point. You can say, I believe something is wrong, I believe something is unethical, and I believe something is immoral. But you can never actually strongly suggest that regardless of what you believe in, it is just wrong. It is just wrong. And this is my main problem with applied ethics, and the reason I want to discuss about this, because there's a huge debate about whether or not learning applied ethics is actually worth doing. And one of the main arguments against learning and developing applied ethics is the fact that it's just subjective, This is to make some basis. That's why we have lost. That is also true. But who decided that we need something? Who decided that society needs some kind of basis? And even if we do need some kind of basis, then why is some basis better than others? Who gets to judge that? And why does learning applied ethics or like applied theory make you better at this for some reason? And my argument is to suggest that you probably don't, because ideas like this are incredibly subjective, and it just depends on individual to individual. But I can be wrong, so it's more problem than with. I guess can you just elaborate on that further, please? Thank you. But this is just what I mean by applied ethics being arguably not irrelevant, but it's maybe overestimated, because at the end of the day, we can't really escape from our beliefs, and just like I have been explaining for this few minutes, if you believe there is a way, if you believe there is like a way you can like staunchly say something is wrong without like depending on your beliefs instead, and then which would limit the subjective problem with all this ethical stuff, then I would love to know, to be honest. One thing would be worse from the majority. That is also true. But it's very important for people to realize that those are just one of the evidence that why you might believe something. You can say, I believe that this is ethical and this is not because first of all, science research says so, or because just God look at some kind of religious text says so, or you can say because the majority believes so. But at the end of the day, the problem still remains that it just enhances your beliefs. It doesn't enhance the truth. It enhances why you believe something over something else, which it means that yes, you can have, which is an opinion. You can have an opinion about why something is ethical, and you can have opinions about why something is unethical, but you can't never exactly say that something is actually unethical. And this is the point in time where I discuss about one of the most extreme cases, which I have been personally discussing for quite a few long time as well. I was just talking about the extreme case of murder, and then whether or not, and it's a very, very simple question about whether murder is moral, whether murder is immoral or moral, and who gets to decide that. And so I've been debating with my family about this. And then first of all, I always have to mention to them about how no, I'm not asking this because I'm trying to justify me going out and killing someone. That's not the case. I'm asking this because where your beliefs come from in this extreme case, because it just feels like a given, given that killing people is wrong, killing somebody else for unjustified reason. And then so just asking them because it's just wrong, It's okay, fantastic. I'm not going mad or anything. I'm not going mad. I'm getting close, but I'm not getting mad. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. But yeah, just think about it in a more broad sense. Like when you ask somebody why murdering somebody else is wrong, they'll just say it just is because, well, this person says so because it causes suffering, it causes, basically the reasons are irrelevant. Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Now let's just imagine you going up to a murderer who just killed someone recently, and then just asked him why he killed someone, why he decided to, like, commit this crime. And then he has his reasons, he has his all this, like, maybe good reasons, maybe they spilled coffee on his, like, shirt, and then that just drove him mad, and he just like, oh yeah, now it's time for business, and then boom, stab him in the back. Now, in both of these cases, no matter what the reason is, how we can like think about, like, who has the better reasoning, who has the better ethics, and who has, but at the end of the day, can either of these people who have different beliefs be right? Like, who are you to say that somebody spilling coffee on your shirt is not enough reason for you to go out and kill that person who made you mad? And who are you to say that is not a good enough reason to kill someone? What are you to say? But at the same time, you also have to realize that these both individuals have different priorities and different benefits. Like really, really think about why you have decided for yourselves to not commit murder today. Why you guys decided not to commit? Seriously, like, I'm not joking. Like, try to, like, actually think about why you decided to not kill anyone today. You probably think about where the majority comes in again. Yeah, maybe because you say the majority, maybe you say the cops are gonna come up to you, maybe you say, but these reasons are pretty much individual, right? Some people would find getting arrested to kill someone else to be completely worth it, Majority, it's bad if it's perhaps. But some people find that the majority is wrong in comparison, and then, like, they will be more than willing to, like, upset the majority in order to, like, commit all these kind of crimes. The fact that it's a crime, it's just wrong to them, because you can say that, oh, those people are evil for thinking about these things, like, oh, this murderer is evil, he needs to get arrested. But at the same time, the murderers who are, like, getting their freedom to kill someone restricted probably thinks the exact same way about you, society that we have this, those are agreed upon things. They aren't really rules pre-written like laws of physics. That is also true. But if it's gonna be written, you better make sure that it is correct, you better make sure it is correct, because well, if that is the case, then it's just, you might as well just say applied ethics is just democracy. So there is really no point in learning about applied ethics, as it's just basically about how much people agree upon. So if enough people today were to say that killing people is the right thing to do, then that'll be moral, that'll be ethical at that point, which is it kind of is. Yeah, it kind of is. I actually debated this a lot back then as well, about how, like, if we decided as a society that slavery should be legalized again, that would be ethical. And the person I was debating with me said, no, it won't be. It will still be evil act to do if you were to enslave someone, even if the whole entire world except for you were to say it is. And I just simply replied, yeah, sure, maybe, but you'll be dead before you'll be able to do anything about it. That's what's happening in modern society, right? If like someone don't find what you do to be ethical or moral, you either get arrested or get killed or get executed, or your entire family gets suffered, or like all that kind of stuff. So the only way we can say something is immoral is by putting an insane amount of cost involved in it. It's like a veto, the vote. So that's even one person, it's bad. Yeah, perhaps, but like that's just assumption, just because, even if you say like 7.5 billion people is enough to like tell you like if just one person were to say something is good, then it's good. And there are a lot of different opinions, right? This is where the idea of subjectivity and relativism comes from, because like no matter who you ask, no matter what your ideas or like what you are arguing for or against, there's always somebody who's like the opposite of you, or like even if there wasn't, they just haven't been born yet. That's the big chance. Like there's been like crazy, like there's murderers, guys. There are murderers in our society right now. There are people who want war more than anything in this world, and there are racist people, and there are slave wanting people. Are any of these people wrong? Are any of these people actually wrong? Many, exactly, many. And if you say that it's just about majority being right, if it's just about the fact that it's not about who's right or who's wrong, it's just about what the majority believes in, then the chances are, then only thing you can say is that witch hunting back in the 1800s or like way before 1700s was legit. It was moral. They should have done it. It was the right thing for them to do because the majority said it so. And if that's the case, then all the murderers have to do is to just convince people. Maybe it's gotta be really difficult, who knows, just convince enough people to say that murder is good, say that murder is moral, say that murder is ethical, in order for them to just make their arguments to make sense. At that point, nobody can deny their morality, which is a scary idea. And I'm telling you, as a person who has been like have you guys ever faced bullying before? Have you guys ever been bullied before? If you guys have, you guys would realize how wrong or like how evil the majority can be sometimes. Like most of these people don't even know why they hate something. Most of them don't even understand why they decide to do something. Some people get influenced by other people despite knowing that they don't want to go through with it. And that happens quite often, especially in schools where bullying is very common, and even out beyond schools and education systems as well. So it's just so I'm just saying you can definitely put forward the argument to say that the majority vote makes something moral. However, you have to understand the real implications and the dangers that comes with it. However, you can also suggest that, well, having no ethics at all, having no right or wrong at all is even more dangerous compared to that. And that's a good point. But at the end of the day, we are trying to answer exactly what it means for something to be dangerous. We are trying to figure out what it means for us to make the wrong choice, what it means for us to make the right choice. The reason why something is dangerous is because we just don't get benefit from it. Like, I was like debating about death equals bad. Who knows? There are people who say that making death is good. Like, some people find killing somebody else to like and after that you get arrested and get killed to be completely worth it. That's what revenge is sometimes, right? And then like sad equals bad. Well, sadness can't be measured. Sadness cannot be compared upon. I was actually having a debate about with someone who was just like come from a war zone era, and I was just telling him about it's a bad thing, but there are people who live very good, technically rich and good lives and still feel incredibly miserable. Like there's a reason why Asian countries have such high suicide rates, and then while like people from like war-torn countries are starting to like escape from it. So like, who is to say who suffers more, Yeah, overcomplicating it. Perhaps you're definitely right. But what I'm trying to say is very simple. Who are you to say death is bad? Who are you to say being sad is bad? Where did you come to that conclusion from? Who told you? Or at the very least, why did you came to that conclusion? And even if you have a very good justification, I'm fantastic, you. Even if you have a very good justification for why you believe it, just because you believe something, does it make it true? Does it make it correct? Or are you just saying this because you want other people to believe the things that you do? Because saying that something is immoral and unethical is such an easy way to make someone feel evil in comparison, Like when you call a murderer unethical, immoral, like evil, that's just a way to just like make someone make them separate from you, because like you don't want to be that kind of person because you find them evil and you find yourself to be morally acceptable, Will be an ethical atheist. Yeah, I guess that's a possibility as well, but you really can't escape this. Like, If like maybe you can, I will never, I should really stop saying something can be impossible, but it's very, very difficult, very difficult. I don't believe my morals. Yeah, exactly. So the reason I wanted to ask you guys is because this is getting more and more relevant as more and more of our policies and politics become more ethically driven, and just to like, what does that exactly mean for you, and what does that mean for anyone else? There's no such thing, in my opinion, as right or wrong, and it's just about benefit. For example, going back to my murder example, the reason I wanted to bring this up is because generally I was very curious about why I didn't, find murder to be moral, why I personally did not find murder to be ethical. And I came to the conclusion, this is just my opinion, that the only reason that I don't find murder to be ethical or like morally acceptable is because simply I just don't benefit from it. Like right now, there's nobody that I wish to kill. Like I get angry quite often. Like there are times I get really, really mad. Yeah, I do, but not to this extent that I would have to just kill someone for it. And if that means, if I give up that right to like, so that, which would mean that nobody can kill me, at least without consequences, then good for me. Like very good for me. Like I would totally like, just, that's worth it. That's worth it. But what if I wasn't like that? What if I really, really wanted to kill somebody? What if I really needed to kill somebody? And what if I really just thought that like it's we worth it? It's all problem. So we don't have to things that are not ethical in other circumstances. That is true. But we have to go return to that same question. What does it really mean to be ethical? What does it mean to be moral? And if we don't know these things, what is the real point of learning about applied ethics? Why are we making these streams? What are we going to do with it? Does listening to this stream and learning more about philosophy actually make you a better ethic wise? If you just answer it, stop teasing. I don't have the answer to this. You know that. But I'll give you one opinion, and this is really my personal opinion about how when you learn ethics, when you learn can you come to these kind of philosophy sessions, the one thing that I really want you guys to only agree on with me personally is just that nobody's right or wrong. Like nobody is right or wrong. Like everything that you believe in, everything you came to conclusion for, and everything you have like decided upon yourself, at the end of the day is your beliefs. But in the grand scheme of things, beliefs almost mean nothing, in my opinion. I mean, opinions are very important for our daily society and daily lives, and then like changing policies at all these kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, that's the limit of what the opinions can do. It does not mean you're correct. It does not mean that you are somehow more ethical or like more unethical compared to all those evil people that you just find yourself with sometimes. It doesn't mean that. It means that you have a different opinion compared to that, which just conflicts incredibly with somebody else. Because the reason why you find this person a murderer, a rapist, a racist to be evil, I hope you guys do, but even if you don't, it's like even if you don't, the opposite. If you find these people evil, is because you find their opinions endangering yours. And this is why we want these guys to be arrested. We want these individuals to like get killed before they do anything with their ideologies. It's not because they are wrong, not necessarily. It's because we believe that they are wrong. We believe that they are evil, and that's more than enough reason for most people to carry on and then like purge anyone who just like having different mindset. Whether or not that is good thing or a bad thing, I will leave that up to you to decide. But basically, the only thing that learning ethics do to you is the fact that it just shows how getting to the truth, getting to the false, and getting to the what is ethical, it was just plain impossible. And this is the probably the only time that I will strongly say this. But if it's not impossible and you guys don't believe that it is, then I would really like to know some other ways you guys believe. And it because it is a terrifying reality. It is a terrifying reality when there's no foundation, because well, the human race, every race, depends on what they believe to be right to go on and all that kind of stuff, fighting for our own beliefs. Yeah, exactly. It's basically just pretty much war against all these people we find evil. Society wants you to find murders to be evil because they benefit from it. Exactly what you mean by the majority. If a person were to say, oh, I need to kill somebody because well he just stepped on my toe, they would find that to be the worst justification ever. But what does it mean to be justifying? The whole I just searched the definition of murder and it says unlawful and unjustified killing of another individual. That's the literal definition of murder. But what does that even mean? What does that mean? Who justifies what? What justifies who? You know? And if we say, oh, somebody justified that, then what's stopping that person from justifying anything else? He killed himself, would he? In a modern society, yes, but I want you guys to legit, if you guys think that this is not, if you guys are still not convinced, I understand that, just think about it in this way. Imagine in a world where there's literally no laws, and then there's no consequences for you killing anyone. Nobody will come after you if for revenge. Nobody can. Let's just say you're protected by Superman or something who will protect you no matter what happens, and then no matter who you kill, no matter what you do, no matter who you decide to do a crime against, nobody can come after you. Now, would you still find that to be evil, if you can do it with zero consequences whatsoever? Sure, you might say, oh, it might cause suffering, but let's just assume that you don't even care about that. So you want to, there's no consequences. Is it still wrong? Would he want to say that he shouldn't do it to others? Yeah, but we have just declared that that would not happen. The only reason then you can argue that the only reason that murder is bad is because you get arrested for it. Is that a strong reason? Is that really a strong reason? Because I was very fascinated with the idea of hell. Maybe this is very controversial, but I just want to bring it up here about how and I just if you're not, I don't know what religion you guys are believing in, but there's a concept about hell, right? You guys all know what hell is, right? If you do bad things, you go down to hell. But my question was, is just because you go down to hell, does that mean anything? Yeah, sure, you're gonna get tortured for eternity and then you're gonna get punished for it, but does being punished for it actually mean that you did something bad? It wouldn't like to be murdered, but he does it to others. Yeah, but there are people out there who completely accepts the fact that they could get killed themselves. That's why murders sometimes happen, right? Sure, some of them might not be right in their mind, but what does it mean to be right in their mind? But let's just say that some people are not right in their mind, but there are definitely those who actually legit just kills while accepting the fact that they could get killed themselves. And it's also, that's a very big assumption in my opinion as well, because what some people do things that they know for a fact that they don't care if that happens to them as well. They're saying we need to survive. It could, but don't want. Who knows? Yeah, that's the thing. We have to assume that we all have an instinct saying we need to survive. We all need to, but there are definitely different people. There are definitely people who are different from what you believe in. And even right now, we are still depending on beliefs when we say that, yes, every single person thinks this way. Every single human being will always think this way. And every single people will always have this kind of belief. I'm not the crazy one for believing such. It's just normal. It's just the way that it is. But saying it that is the way that it is extremely difficult, because at the end of the day, you're still depending on your belief. You're hoping that everyone else thinks this way, You're still hoping. It is what it is. Yeah. you can say that to the murderer, but he probably will not think so. Like that's the thing. Like imagine you or not talking to me, but talking to a legit killer. Like if you were to say that, oh, you should think this way because other people, most normal human beings, think this way. He'll probably think that you are being insulting, and that's the same from a murderer's perspective. It was just like, who are you to tell me what a normal human being is? Who are you to tell me on what a life is? Who are you to tell me? And then he makes like you don't have to agree with it, but you have to understand that. And when it comes to ethics, when it comes to morality, anything can be a good solution. Anything can be arguably a good argument because justification itself is made up by human beings in order to get closer to the truth while never getting closer at all to it anyway. That's what right and wrong really is. It's my opinion. In my opinion that right and wrong is an illusion. In my opinion, if you guys do not agree with this, I would really like to know your ideas though. We got born with survival. We don't want to die. Inflict that to other. We are in the wrong. Yeah. But who are you to say that survival instinct is shared by everybody? You know, it's still a belief. First of all, that also means that you have to believe in biological scientific research, which is a whole other can of worms. But it's just that my point still stands. Like I'm just saying, no matter what evidence that you do bring up, it's still based upon beliefs that the way I believe this is wrong because this is why I believe it. My belief is like this. My belief is like this because just because you have survival instinct doesn't mean that you don't have to do something that you don't want to happen to yourself. That's what you as an individual decided, but because ethics is so subjective and like depending on different conditions and different ideas, like someone might have like a brain part missing from their head that makes them completely not fear death. That's possible. That's completely possible. So at that point you have to just wonder, can anything be right or wrong? Can anything be right or wrong when everything is dependent on subjective and situational problems, you know? But it's not normal. Yeah. But how much do you want to depend on normal in order to, make your rationality? Normal can be anything. Normal can be whatever somebody else wants to be. Like, you can even say, people are normally, all murderous individuals, but, the law prevents you from doing that. So that could be normal, but we never know. We never know unless the entire, government system, breaks down. We don't know that. And then there's if there's infinite universes in the world that has different situations, then don't you think there's at least one or maybe infinite more where murder is justified and some things that's not justified here is completely justified in another universe? And if that's the case, then what is normal? What is normal? And even if you say this is normal or that is normal, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that? Things on what we don't want ourselves, we shouldn't do to others. Yeah, I think that there's a philosophical theory about that as well. There's a philosophical theory about that based on things that what we don't want. Yeah, but what the things that I understand. That's a good point. And that's one of the main arguments that people have when it comes to ethics and morality. But even the concept of what we don't want to happen to ourselves is subjective. Some people are willing to suffer a lot more to do something else compared to you. That's just the way I think. That's what I think is normal. But of course, you don't have to agree with that. But that's the whole point. Circle and goes back to the votes and personal beliefs. Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted to suggest. Saying that something is wrong because of beliefs is my main issue when it comes to people suggesting strongly that this is wrong and this is correct. Because, like you said, it all comes back to beliefs. It all comes back to majority. But one more time that I will be asking you whether or not that's a good thing to, I think this can be resolved mathematically. We are getting desperate now, isn't it? Even your belief in mathematics is still technically a belief though, right? Yeah, you can say that. the recursive problem. Yeah, but it's a reasonably recursive problem. It's a very reasonable. Like philosophy, like can you imagine philosophy where there's a one answer to all answers? Like if there's actually like a real right or wrong, wouldn't that make philosophy even more irrelevant compared to right now where there's no such thing as right or wrong? Because like all you have to do is just write it down on a piece of paper and then boom, that's right, that's these are right, these are wrong. Wouldn't that make applied ethics even more irrelevant? Because at that point we're just moving mathematics, you know? And it's kind of what happened. Yeah, it's kind of what happened. But this is why I'm just saying how limited, how unnatural it kind of is, you know? The law can tell you what is right or wrong, but at the end of the day, it itself doesn't know what is right or wrong. And you know, you can tell me what's right or wrong, but at the end of the day, it's still dependent on beliefs. So there's that. Then change. Then when we start thinking, yeah, we started thinking, but what are we trying to think out of? You know, you can, like back in the days when people started to were like only believing in the Bibles and other religious texts. Were they wrong to do so? Were they actually wrong to do so? Like a way of solving recursive problems. Yeah, but even like this is what people would suggest that there are scientific measures to like get through this, but you also have to remember that scientific measurements at the end of the day are still beliefs. You have to trust in mathematics. You have to trust in all these kind of states, and then you have to also accept the fact that like no matter what kind of like equation you have, you probably can't answer this question. If you can't, like if you want to show me an equation where it actually like that's kind of faulty, yeah, math's kind of faulty. It's also important to mention, like this is one of the very important thing that one of the people I've been discussing this told me, is that every single science in the world is not true. Technically, like it's close, like it's a theory, like it's useful theory, like it works for what is intended. It's enough. What we know so far as a species is enough for for us to go to Mars or something. It's enough, and we can get it down to 99% accuracy. But when it comes to the whole concept of the universe is concerned, right? It's true. It's such a philosophical thing, but it's true. Yeah, when it comes to the whole grand scheme of the universe, that 1% might not mean anything to us, but it can be huge in the grand scheme of things. Like, very frightening. It's very frightening. Yeah. This is one of those many things that has been keeping me up at night, honestly. Like it's one of those very things, because like at one hand, it's very nice to know that technically nobody is right or wrong. So whenever it's like it makes your mind open to like different ideas, because at the end of the day it's all opinions. But on the other hand, it's very frightening to know for a fact that there's really nothing we're actually aiming for. We're just hoping for the best. Like we're just throwing the dice and seeing that this is probably right. Like we don't know the opportunities that we have lost from like ending slavery, or like when we decide to make murder illegal. We don't know. There's infinite different possibilities that could have actually happened. Or like maybe like logic like prevents us from making any other decision except for the ones that we have made so far. We just don't know. We just don't know, because we don't know what is really right or wrong for the society. We just know that some things benefit us more than others. There are things that we need that we need to aim for, and unless other people agrees with us, it gets much more harder to achieve, which is why we create these things called morality and ethics in order to achieve it. Why philosophy is needed, perhaps. But this is where the very important quote comes in, where it was just one of the, I was just reading a manga, and then this came up. This is one of the few times that I'm just gonna mention about a manga. I'm not gonna tell you guys the name, but it just mentioned about ethics, and how ethics will not help you get a job. It will not make you happier, and it will not be any more use for you once you get out of school. However, while learning ethics will make you a better person, at least. From before we won't progress. Yeah, but we also need to know what it means to progress at first, though. And that's the thing. We can't keep asking the same question for no matter what we say. Like, this is the learning applied ethics is worth it or not itself is a question, because you have to believe that learning applied ethics is important, and you still have to, which means you still have to depend on that belief, which means that you haven't really escaped from anything. You can say that, oh, it's we can progress. We need to learn this in order to like make the better use of ourselves. What does that even mean? You know, it's just a change in general. Yeah, but who are you to say that changing is good? What does it even mean to change? You know, well, who is anyone to say any of this? And this is the main problem when it comes to saying that moral experts exist, because you might suggest, as I think you're suggesting, that moral experts exist who can actually like make these kind of decisions for you, or that you yourself can become better at ethics in order to make this decision more easier and better. And the only thing as an ethical moral expert that I have suggested can improve on is the fact that you can make it easier for you to accept that there's no such thing as right or wrong, you know? Like people who spend more time thinking about this than others. Exactly. You can easily do that. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You can think just as much as me, and then like, okay, I'm not saying I'm a moral expert in anything, but I'm just saying that you can think just as hard as I do, or even more, and then like you can like get to like different conclusions and different opinions and different ideas. But that's the point. You are getting a different opinion. You are getting different ideas. But at the end of the day, what you are is that you are not getting the right idea. Am I just nutty? No need to mention that. I just like to think about this stuff a lot. I just like to think about this kind of stuff a lot. And then it's also very important because, it's also nice to just like share like opinions about this. Like, what do you guys basically think about all this? And then like what thoughts about this? Maybe like I always like make sure to like when I think about these kind of questions, I always like to think about that, there's a big 100% chance that I am wrong and I'm completely off topic and I'm completely like out of like things. Like even a person that believes that there's no such thing as right or wrong, still like, I still develop my own opinions. But I understand the fact that like I'm probably developing my ideas to nothingness. I'm probably developing it to like, there's no real point in developing something when there is just nothing. I just do it because, I'm still kind of hopeful that I'm making a better choice. Because this concept is really hard to accept. Like even right now, I still get pretty antsy when like some people suggest things that I completely disagree with. And I get pretty heated up when I do that, even though I personally believe that there's no such thing as right or wrong. And it's like it helps, but like how much? In my opinion, it helps. I'm not saying that applied ethics is useless. This is why I'm saying this. But I'm just saying that like the reasons why people find it useful is kind of meaningless in my opinion. So a person. Maybe I'm not. To be honest, I'm not even sure what I am anymore. Like I said, I was like depressed. Like I was like feeling really, really depressed about like whole streaming, and then like doing all my other things outside of streaming as well. And so I was like quite stressed out. So now I'm just not even sure what I want to be or stuff. What I want to believe in, or like what I should be doing, what I want. But that's a story for another time. It was really fun. Like it's really fun. But I hope you guys have been like I don't know. Like what do you guys, get from this? Knows what you're doing outside of streaming. No one knows what you're doing outside of streaming. Trust me, I am super busy. Like I'm super busy. Like I was like relaxing for like a couple of days though, which is nice. But it just made me like question a lot about like whether or not I want to keep doing this kind of things, or like what should I do, what kind of benefit, what am I actually looking forward to? Because like you guys, you don't understand. I think you understand when I say this, but like I decided to, like when I started streaming, I wanted to like start streaming because I wanted to become famous, and then like I wanted to like entertain people. This is the reason I started streaming. But I realized soon that recently about how yeah, becoming famous and all this is kind of stressful, and also just like I don't even know if it's worth it, and I don't even know like why I even want to become famous and anyway. So I just asked like, okay, just focus on making good streams. But it feels like after I said that, I feel like I've lost some purpose or something, you know. I've lost a huge amount of like reason for why I started, that I just don't know what I'm aiming for, because most of the time I'm like talking to myself, or like I'm talking to one person or like zero person, and then I just like talk for 2 to 1 hours. It's a huge investment, and I genuinely I'm not like, I told myself I'm the best streamer all the time, but even if I'm not the best streamer, I have the same thing. Yeah, even if I'm not the best streamer, I put my soul and effort in every single stream I make. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, I kept telling myself it doesn't matter how much people see me, as long as I put my soul into it. But that's the thing. Like, after I put my soul into each and every one of my streams, and I put all my energy and time into it, what am I actually getting out of? Like, is this worth it, was the main question that I was like really struggling with. And then I was just having a talk with Juicy about it, like recently, and I just had a very awkward like chat with her. To watch your growth. Yeah, yeah, I know. Like, see what works. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Like, I just started to like I take everything I do very seriously, you know. Like, or like this philosophy stream, like yeah, I may not do like like as much research as like more like experts do, but like I just do like I just think this through for like days in advance, and then like make sure I make like maybe get my point across as much as possible. And when I do other streams, I make sure I get super exhausted at the very end of the stream, so I know for a fact that I've done everything I could. But still, I honestly don't know exactly what I was even aiming for anymore. Like, if I'm not really aiming for like becoming famous, then should I even continue? You know, have some see from others who are more successful. You know? Yeah, like I explained this to Juicy, and the thing, yeah, exactly. Like, if I was looking for success, there's a lot of things I could do right now. Like, there are a lot more things. Like, I could suggest all that, I could do all this, but that's the whole point. Because when I was like aiming for like becoming famous and all that, I got really stressed out each time when like a followers was like unfollowing me, and then like they were just like and I didn't feel much, because like I was always looking for a bigger number and all that kind of stuff. So I was just asking myself, is this really what I wanted to do? Is this really what it means? You know, is this really what I should be aiming for? How unhealthy it might be, you know? It's sometimes hard to go against your subconscious. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like, even right now, after I tell myself to like stop looking for numbers, stop asking for numbers, it's still very hard for me to like not think about, like, even right now there's chats, like where I'm reading the chat on the stream manager. I can see the number of followers and I can see the number of viewers, and then it's really hard to ignore that. It's really hard to ignore that, and I don't know if I should ignore that anymore, because yeah, just about the whole purpose of doing things, because like I'm really good. I'm whatever I do, like this is just whatever I do, I take really seriously, and whatever I do, I commit to it as much as possible and put my very soul into all of it. But I rarely ever got much from it. I just kept telling myself, this is what I want to do, this is what I really really want to do, that's why I'm working so hard for it. But more and more, the more I invest in it, the more I just put my soul into it, the more I keep asking myself, really, are you real, is this really really what you want to do? And I'm not talking about only streaming as well, I'm talking about many other things that I'm just like going through, you know. Well, it's either bad timing or just not the way. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was just thinking that like the reason why I'm not, like, I kept blaming myself a lot for like why I'm not famous at that time, and then like why I'm not. At the end of the day, I just tell myself, there's really nothing wrong I did. I like, there's really like, is the best. Yeah, networking is the best. I understand. Like, I guess, like I said, there's a lot more things I could do. But it feels kind of unhealthy, like just taking it that far, because like it's already, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just being lazy or something like that, but I don't think so. I just generally don't think so. I just don't know whether even committing even farther than I do right now is a good thing. Because like I just imagine myself like having like a million followers, having all this, having like fame and all that kind of stuff. I'll probably still be asking the same question, like is this really what it means, for us to use all these strategies? Yeah, it feels unethical. But even then, I just keep thinking myself, like I made a philosophy session about this last time, about like what it means to be successful, what it means to be great. And I just ask myself constantly, like, if I were to have a million followers, would that make me feel any different than I am right now? Because at the end of the day, I'm probably just gonna keep wanting more and more. Like, should I just be satisfied with the way I am right now? Should I just be like, because like the rare moments where I have like people who come to my streams and have a chat, that's already good enough. And I just think about the different situation where I have a million people chatting at the same time, and I'll just I would just have multitude of bad conversations, and then like I'll just end the stream there. Is that what I really want to aim for? Or like maybe I should be aiming for, and then if I regret it, then I can come back. But should I live in a rat race? True. Yeah, I understand. It's about like all this popularity contest and all, then growth, it seems as good. Yeah, it's just about all successful ideas. I just don't feel comfortable, like, I just didn't feel comfortable depending, because I just generally felt bad every single time. Like in the past, I felt really bad that I didn't get enough followers by the end of the year and stuff like that. I feel like I didn't achieve my goals. But at the end of the day, I forgot the fact that, like, even if I didn't have streaming, even if I didn't stream at all, even if I never started, I was still amazing. I was still great. I believe that I was great. I was like amazing, like individual, even before I started. And even if I were to quit streaming right now and never touch the computer ever again, I will still be amazing. But it's scary, because like when you know for a fact that you're very confident in yourself, and you know for a fact that you're amazing, you don't exactly know what you should be aiming for. Because like I could just be satisfied where I am right now. I could just be, and I could just or I could just want more. I could restart and stuff like that. I just never know what I really want to do. Like I don't really know what's really worth it, But it's all our beliefs. Yeah, I know. This is why I want to like control my own beliefs, and then like make sure that no matter what happens, I want to make sure that I know I'm great, Say, if you believe, you can do it. Yeah, I understand. Like, yeah, this is why I always recommend my fans who like have problems to, no matter what happens, just like remember that you are great. Like you, like, never need something, I don't need to stream. I don't need to do all this. I don't need to do anything. Like, I could be a complete slob on the bed and then like not get up the next morning, and then there's nothing stopping me from believing myself that I'm great. But at the end of the day, it's still very scary to like realize that once you believe in yourself, it's all about what you want anymore. And it's very sad for me to say this about how like whether or not I want to do things over something else is still a hard question, because like I don't want to half-ass anything, to put it simply. I never want to like half-ass anything. Like if I'm gonna do something, I want to make sure I do my very best in it, and I always do. But it just never feels like just never feels like if it's the right thing, and I will probably never know. Like I said, there's no such thing as right or wrong. Like I just imagine myself being arrested like tomorrow, and I just imagine like is that really a bad thing? Like, is that really a bad thing? Like, if I were to stop streaming tomorrow, is that really a bad thing? Like I really want to make, like, it's like sometimes I just like have struggle with like that I don't hate streaming enough to just quit right now sometimes, and it just sometimes just really annoys me, just like anything else. Like maybe I'm just too scared to say I hate something, more to be successful. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I accept the fact that like I could be more successful, but just about what I should be aiming for. And what do I even want from this? What do I even want to get out of this? Because most of the times I just do it because I want to, but why I want to is still a struggle every single time. But that's basically the kind of situation I'm having. That's the reason I've been like so like stressed out this past few weeks, and also it's still kind of thing. Okay, too much. Yeah, I know, I know. But that's just the thing I'm struggling with right now. Like I said. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed that, then you guys can follow if you guys want to, and you guys can subscribe. No pressure or anything. I love every single one of you, and yes, the 1 hour. Look, I could stream below hours, but I just don't have the energy. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Take care, everyone. Thanks, fantastic, for joining me, and thanks for listening to me. Bye. Take care.